Alex, I've been really looking forward to this.
I'm really excited we're doing this. I'm glad that you finally came down to Texas.
Well, we're here for Lodgy work, so it's going to be a great week. But today we are in Deep Ellum, deep in the heart of Dallas. So before we get into that, we're going to obviously go check out this area. It's beautiful. But tell me a little bit about yourself, because obviously you have done a lot in audio. You have this rich history. So I'm sure the audience would love to hear just a little bit about that.
Well, there's a reason why we came down here, and that's because, I actually got my start in the industry, in the music business. I grew up in a family of performers, but I always found myself growing up behind the console, audio engineering. I got the opportunity to travel all over the country doing that, and that sort of parlayed into working in sort of the corporate AV space these days and building cool technology.
Now, Alex is one of the few people at the company that I call. Actually, you're probably the first person I call every time I do something really stupid, especially with microphones. So we're going to explore a lot of different microphones in this episode. But since we just got here, I'm sure everyone will want to check out the neighborhood. So let's go ahead, walk around, check out this beautiful neighborhood, and share it with everyone.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
We're right here in Blues Alley, and Blues Alley is a part of Deep Ellum that has steeped in history, and I think it really tells the story of this area. Deep Ellum came together as a melting pot of music and culture in a time of prohibition and segregation, where you really had to have a place to get out of curfew and kind of break the rules and explore the arts. And to this day, a lot of those music venues, these underground speakeasies, have been replaced and torn down, but that music heritage, that arts heritage, is still alive today. And you see it painted on all the walls of all the buildings here, all these beautiful murals of these iconic musicians that helped create Dallas and create the arts culture here and really put Deep Ellum on the map. And so you see people like Leadbelly famous in the blues scene. And you're going to see that kind of carried throughout all of these older facades, as well as all the new construction you see in the area. But Deep Ellum, I think, is an encapsulation of Dallas's rebellious spirit and our willingness to challenge the norms, and to kind of represents the place where Dallas learned to hear ourselves and to hear the music and to hear our soul.
So Alex, I can really understand now why Deep Ellum is the way it is. There's just so much history here. And unfortunately, we have food in front of us. We have amazing barbecue. I don't know how we're going to get through this next segment without eating, so we're going to have to stop at some point. But I want to dive a little bit deeper into audio because you've learned a lot of lessons along the way being an audio engineer. So talk about that, because sound is so important. And clearly it's important to Dallas and this neighborhood. But talk about sound and how authentic sound really matters.
Well, you said it right there. Authenticity is such a critical component of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most important things I've learned working as an audio engineer and now getting to work with the teams creating some of these products is that the audio actually has the ability to create trust or to break it. So bad audio really can degrade someone's experience.
Sure.
And that's why it's so important to think about choosing the right tool for the job and protecting the integrity and the authenticity of what you're telling. In a place like this, you're impressed by the importance and just the gravity of the story you're telling. But the story could be something else. It could be sitting in the boardroom. You don't have to be playing a song. You could be presenting the quarterly earnings. But, you deserve to have that story told with a high degree of authenticity. I think one of my favorite stories, actually, and I brought you a book. It's my favorite book in the
awesome.
world.
Oh, wait. This is going to be Jeff Emmerich, isn't it?
It is.
All right.
It's called Here, There, and Everywhere.
Thank you.
It's the story of Jeff Emmerich recording, from the audio engineer's perspective, recording the Beatles. And when we talk about authenticity, John Lennon famously didn't like the sound of his own voice. But
really?
He worked with the guys, and they tried different microphones and different tuning and different mic placement until he actually felt like he really liked the sound of his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he even told them, like, you finally made me sound like me, but better.
Wow.
And that's really compelling, because when you're capturing somebody, regardless of where they are, whether they're performing their latest hit single or whether they're presenting some important piece of information to their audience, when you make sure that they feel like they're being heard and that they're being heard really well, they sound good, they have a confidence that comes through in their presentation. A singer will never sing better than when they feel like they're really in the pocket and they're really delivering it. So it's an important thing to protect that authenticity.
I didn't realize the foreword is written by Elvis Costello. And I've actually seen him in England rehearsing. I didn't actually get to go to the concert, but we were actually touring the Round Theatre, and it was amazing to actually check it out.
Well, it's such a beautiful place, and the recording studios at Abbey Road are phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to go, absolutely you should do it.
I've done the walk outside, but I've never actually been inside. Bucket list one day.
Worth it. Well, one of the stories I think that comes out of this book that I really like is also about Paul McCartney. So Jeff was trying to capture the sound in the studio of the bass, and it just wasn't translating to tape. And one of the stories he walks through here is how basically EMI's rules around how you record and where you place microphones and what microphones you get to use were all written by the guys that bought the equipment.
Oh, wow.
And they wrote the rules because the equipment was really expensive and they didn't want you to do anything with it that could endanger the microphone. And so Jeff actually broke a lot of rules, and there were careers on the line. People were upset. But he moved the really expensive and delicate microphones really close to the bass cab. And it wasn't until after they hit play to listen to the song that they recorded and realize that the bass came to life.
Wow.
And on tape, it was captured in a much more powerful way. And that's just sort of, it gives you a framework for how you need to protect the integrity of something, but also sometimes that means you need to think a little differently. Think outside the box, break a little rules.
Yeah.
Think about how you can prioritize the outcome and the story over maybe just the history of how you've always done things.
That's awesome. Hey, you know what? I don't think I can wait any longer. So why don't we take a break? Let's hold that thought and let's chow down on some of this delicious barbecue, and then we'll get back to this. What do you think?
Let's do it.
We'll be right back. I gotta stop. It was so good, but I can't. I gotta stop. I really do.
Well, that was fantastic.
It was a really good choice. I'm definitely coming back to this place next time I'm in Dallas.
There's something about Texas and barbecue.
We need more of it.
I
Just
agree.
not right now.
I agree. Just something about simple, low and slow, consistent. Just leave it. It's good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about microphones before we stopped to eat.
Right.
I actually have a surprise for you.
Okay.
I brought a few out of my collection.
Cool.
I have a tremendous list of microphones in my personal
I know you do.
collection. This one probably everyone's familiar with. This is a SM58. If you ask anybody to draw a microphone, they're going to draw this one.
Right.
But what maybe fewer people are familiar with is going to be its sister, the SM57.
Oh.
Which is a legendary microphone. And famously, if you talk to any audio engineer anywhere and they have to use a hammer for something, this is their hammer.
The hammer, literally.
It's almost an indestructible microphone.
You know, for some reason, I thought it would look completely different, but it does look like an instrument microphone, so it kind of makes sense.
This microphone's interesting. One of the more famous uses of it is Bono in U2. And it can be used as a vocal mic as well.
I was going to say, because it's mostly been used as an instrument mic.
Well, the interesting thing is that there's a sort of a microphone for every purpose. And this one in particular has a real mid-forward sort of tonal pattern.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of grit, but a lot of just straightforward authenticity. It doesn't lie. It doesn't doctor it up. It just sounds honest.
Sounds raw.
But that grit and the ability to handle incredibly loud, powerful sounds also lends itself to really big vocals.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so the 57, an absolute workhorse, probably a great starting point for almost any use. Electric guitars, snare drums, anything that's got that nice mid-tonality.
What else you got over there?
Well, I brought a few others. There's a nice M88, which is an incredible beyerdynamic microphone. Really great grit. Think kick drums, bass cabs. But this one, I think, is really special. This is a Sennheiser MD421.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A famous sort of use for this microphone is going to be on toms, on the drums.
Okay.
So for people that may not know which ones those are the smaller ones on top of the kit.
Right.
But it's an incredible sounding microphone. And you could use it for anything. You could use it for vocals as well. But it is an incredible microphone. I definitely use it for toms because it has this really great ability to take a really powerful sound, but to produce that low end and that resonance that's found in these sounds.
That's awesome.
So there's a couple more. I won't bore you too much. But
No, this is not boring at all. This is not, hopefully you guys aren't finding this boring. I find this really interesting, actually. But
just to land the message that there's a microphone for every purpose. This one's actually a really special one. This one is famously the Garth Brooks microphone.
I see it. I definitely see it. Yeah.
Because you want to be close mic'd, but you also need your hands free so you can move around and play the guitar.
Yeah.
So that's a cool piece.
Wait, who makes this one?
That's a Crown microphone.
It's a Crown microphone. Okay.
And of course, no microphone collection would be incomplete without a great podcast microphone.
Of course.
So this is the Shure SM7B. One of the things that's really cool about this one is that this is the primary microphone for all of Michael Jackson's vocals in the studio.
Really?
Yeah, you think about it for radio and podcasts, but a beautiful microphone that is very, very clean and pristinely captures that powerful vocal. And so almost any of those songs that you listen to, those power ballads, going to be recorded on the SM7B.
I didn't know I actually thought it was mostly just a podcast microphone. And in fact, I have one that I have not opened. Okay, I got a surprise for you too. Hang on. Now check out this bad boy.
Oh man, this is cool.
So I didn't actually, to be fair, it's not a working version. Like I managed to find one. An engineer at Logitech actually said, you know what, I have one of these. I'll give them to you. But the thing I love about our engineers are that they want to make sure things work. So this little light at the bottom, there's nothing inside this microphone, right? This is the one that has the multiple capsules. But there's a little dip switch in here that turns the light on. So you can't see it because it's so bright. But there's a little light here that turns on. And he put a whole battery assembly because I said it was going to go at the edge of my set. But there's a lot of history with this microphone, right? And I think it's Blink 182, the Lumineers. There's just so many people that have used this in the studio and known for its multiple capsules, right? So you can basically get what kind of sounds you want. But sadly, we don't make this anymore. So if you can find one of these that are actually working, it's a rare find.
This is actually an incredible microphone. The blue bottle is well known in the recording studios. And I've been personally looking for one for years. I'm going to keep on looking. I won't take your
please.
Your demo.
That'd be nice if I can keep it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Man, what a cool microphone. And I think the thing I love about it is the interchangeable capsules.
Mm-hmm.
And this is special because we've kind of been talking a little bit about sort of breaking the rules, thinking outside the box. And while kind of a traditional way to think about it is that each one of these microphones is like a paintbrush.
Right.
And each one has its own sort of tonal signature, and you want to use the right tool for the right job.
Mm-hmm.
And the designers of this microphone really thought outside the box. They wanted to create a platform where you could just change out the capsule to be whatever sound you wanted. There's one that's warmer.
Right.
There's one that's a little bit more gritty. So you change out the capsule. So you actually move to like systems thinking and platform thinking, where you want to create something that also works for the engineers in the studios, constantly changing these things out.
Yeah. It's incredible. Now, interestingly enough, even though we don't make this particular microphone today, we do make different kinds of blue microphones, right?
Yes. Actually, this is a cool one. So this is a Logitech branded microphone. This one is called the Blue Sona.
Now rebranded as the Yeti Studio. And actually, that's what I use in the studio day in, day out. Every single call, Zoom call, Teams call, Google call, podcast recording, I use that mic. It just sounds so good. It's kind of got best of all the different worlds. Yeah, I love it. It comes in black and white, obviously. And this is obviously the white version, but yeah, it's great. And then we also take the same concept of that mic and we also put it in headphones. I saw a gaming headset in there somewhere. So Logitech G is our gaming brand, well known worldwide. And then we also have this, there's the Blue microphone right there.
Yeah, so this is really cool because this is the Logitech G Pro X wireless headset. It's a little well-loved because this is my personal gaming headset. But Blue microphones, as they joined the company, we took the incredible, engineering and design work and the thought of how to make great sound and created a Blue microphone for this headset. So this is the Blue Ice Pop microphone. And I think that's kind of cool because as you kind of continue on down the lineup, we've been talking a lot about music, capturing spoken word or capturing music or performance and capturing gaming communications.
Right.
But what about in the boardroom?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's special. As I've been thinking throughout my career about creating the authenticity of sound, making sure that you're honoring the content that's being said, that's being presented, that's being performed.
Yeah.
People that are on conference calls, they're just answering, an inbound ticket, or maybe they're presenting on a quarterly earnings update or something. They also want to have their incredibly important story told in a great way. And so it's nice to know that there's companies out there that take audio seriously and really work on, keeping that authenticity and that quality, even in a small form factor for people doing, remote work.
And we know that for a fact, right? Because we own the Blue brand, the Blue microphone technology, and it's those same audio engineers that have been taking that technology, moving it into our other brands like Ultimate Ears. That's Zone Wireless 2, I think, and it's also in Zone Wireless 2 ES and Zone Wired. So you can see the proliferation of our technology through all these audio engineers, through all these patents that we've got through Blue that are now making it into business headsets. You said the boardroom, but it's also your home office. If you're on a train, on a plane. And I just came back from Barcelona and I used the Zone Wireless 2 ES headset for like 8 hours straight. And I wasn't using the mic there. I was using the headset to listen to music, but I was also video editing. I was also writing up a script for something. So these are becoming really embedded in all our lives, right? In every facet of our lives, actually. So it's really cool to see the progression of the technology from the analog, even maybe this that Garth Brooks wore at some point, right? Into all the modern technology that's out there.
So this is all a part of why I think great audio and investments in your AV infrastructure actually is a critical part of your brand, and is really an important part of improving the quality of life of your employees as well.
That's great. So I've learned a lot today. I'm still full from the barbecue. I think I'm not having any more food tonight. I think we're done. And it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. So we're not even dinner time yet, but I think I'm done. But thank you for walking me through this. Just checking out Blues Alley was fantastic. Understanding about the history of it. The microphones, it's a surprise. I'm not surprised at all, but it's really great. And obviously you get to see the Blue. Maybe I'll give that to you one day. You never know. Never know. But not yet. Not yet. I'm still taking that back home. But it's been really good. So thank you for spending the time and just walking us all through the history of this area. It's just fantastic.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's certainly my passion. There's one more thing, though, Nathan. I think now that we've been in Texas, we've been in Deep Ellum, we've checked out all the audio. The last thing is we've got to go get you a good pair of cowboy boots.
Thank you for watching another episode of Seasoned Baggage. I'm with Alex Mooney. Alex, thanks again for being here. Maybe not this time, but maybe in the future, we never know.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.